Hello and welcome to today's webinar on how modern analytics can help retailers overcome current challenges. My name is Lex Pierik and I'm a senior analytics consultant for Biztory. I'm joined today by Tony Kelly, senior partner sales engineer for Fivetran, and my colleague Koen van het Schip, sales director for Biztory the Netherlands. And we would like to tell today something about the 5 challenges in retail. But more importantly, what should we do with them? So we identified a couple of challenges in current companies, but also within retail. And what we see as a first one is that the competition increased massively. Your industry is becoming more and more competitive due to the rise of e-commerce and the entrance of new players into the market. So, as a retailer, you must find ways to differentiate yourself and provide a unique value proposition to your customers. Also, we've seen the ever-evolving consumer preferences. They are changing all the time. So their preferences and their behaviors are constantly evolving, and you must keep up with these changes to remain relevant. This includes change in shopping habits, demand for personalized experience, and increased focus on sustainability and ethical practices. Supply chain disruptions. We've seen it a lot, right? With the COVID-19 pandemic, it has highlighted the importance of supply chain resilience, as disruptions in production and shipping have caused significant delays and shortages of goods. As a retailer, you must find ways to adapt to these disruptions and ensure the availability of products to your customers. Also, technology adoption is a challenge. Again, with the rise of the e-commerce, but also digital channels, you need to invest in technology to provide seamless online experiences. But not only online, also in your stores. New technologies can help you and the customer experience. And finally, a challenge that we've all seen is the labor shortages. Many companies are facing labor shortages due to the various factors such as the pandemic, changing attitudes towards work, and competition for talent. And the retail world is no different. You must find ways to not only attract, but also retain employees while managing labor costs, which is not easy in your competitive landscape. So when you look at the 5 challenges, you would probably ask yourself what to do with them. I will now, per challenge, go a bit more in depth on how analytics and data can help you cope with those challenges. And the first one is we need to get a better understanding of the market and the competitors. Because as a retailer, you can leverage analytics to monitor market trends, analyze competitor performance, and identify emerging opportunities. By tracking competitor pricing, assortment, and market strategies, you can adjust your own strategies to stay ahead of the competition and identify potential gaps in the market. For example, with market trend monitoring. By analyzing historical sales data, customer feedback, and market indicators, it's easy to identify market trends and shift in your consumer preferences. These insights enable you to adapt your product offerings, marketing strategies, and pricing strategies accordingly. But also competitor analysis can be done. Data and analytics can help you gain insights into your competitors' performance, such as their pricing strategies, their product assortment, their marketing campaigns, and also their customer satisfaction levels. By benchmarking against competitors and analyzing their strengths and weaknesses, you can identify areas for improvement and devise strategies to gain a competitive advantage. And maybe to that point you can also do market research and testing. Again, analytics can support there. It can support your market research efforts by analyzing consumer survey data, conducting A/B testing, measuring campaign performance. Through analytics, businesses can assess consumer preferences, test different marketing approaches, and optimize strategies based on the data-driven insights. It can truly help your retail market. Also, data and analytics can help with the evolving consumer preferences. To do it, you need to have an understanding of your consumer, their needs and behaviors and trends. And by leveraging data and analytics effectively, you can gain a comprehensive understanding of your consumer needs and trends. This understanding helps drive strategic decision making, product development, marketing campaigns, and customer experience initiatives, ultimately leading to the increased customer satisfaction, loyalty, and business growth. For example, customer segmentation. Through analytics, you can segment your customer based on various criteria such as demographics, purchasing behavior, preferences, and also engagement levels. This segmentation allows for a deeper understanding of different customer groups, their specific needs, and response to the market initiatives. Also, personalized marketing is an important one. Analytics enables your company to create personalized marketing strategies tailored to specific customer segments. By analyzing customer data, you can identify individual preferences, purchase history, and browsing behavior, allowing for targeted messaging, customized offers, and relevant product recommendations. Personalized marketing leads to higher customer engagement and satisfaction. Social media listening. Also there, analytics can help. Analytics can be employed to monitor social media platforms like Twitter or LinkedIn and extract valuable insights from customer conversations, mentions, and also sentiment analysis. This helps your company to get a better understanding of that sentiment, identify emerging trends, and address concerns promptly. Social media listening provides real-time feedback and helps you stay ahead and attuned to your customer needs. Next on the list is supply chain disruptions. There you also need to have an understanding of the supply chain and their dependencies. By leveraging analytics effectively, you can gain a comprehensive understanding of your supply chain, identify dependencies, optimize processes, mitigate risk, and enhance overall supply chain performance. This understanding enables your company to make the right data-driven decisions and implement strategies that lead to improved efficiency, cost savings, and customer satisfaction. For example, demand forecasting. You can use your historical data to analyze it. You can analyze market trends. You can analyze the customer behavior, and it will help you to forecast demand accurately. By understanding demand patterns and fluctuations, you can optimize inventory levels, production schedules, and procurement processes. This helps prevent stockouts, reduce excess inventory, and ensures an efficient supply chain management. You need to get supply chain visibility. Again, analytics provides insights into various stages of the supply chain, from raw material sourcing to production, distribution, and delivery. By collecting and analyzing data across these stages, your company will gain visibility into the flow of goods, identify bottlenecks, and pinpoint areas for improvement. Also, your suppliers. You need to get insights and understanding on how they work. So, supplier performance analysis. That enables you to assess the performance of your suppliers and vendors. By analyzing supplier data such as delivery times, quality metrics, and pricing, you can identify reliable and efficient partners. This understanding helps optimize supplier relationships, negotiate better contracts, and also ensures the availability of high-quality inputs for the supply chain. And maybe the final one is process optimization. There you can also use data and analytics to identify process bottlenecks and inefficiencies within the supply chain. By analyzing data and applying techniques such as process mapping, simulation, and optimization algorithms, you can identify areas for improvement. You can streamline your workflows and optimize resource allocation. A better understanding of supply chain helps not only to enhance operational efficiency, but also reduce lead times and improve overall supply chain performance. The next one is technology adoption, and you probably guessed it already. You need to get an understanding of potential gains with technology. And by understanding the potential benefits that technology can bring to your business, you can assess whether it's worth investing in some new technologies. Understanding the potential gains helps you evaluate the impacts on various aspects, such as the customer experience, operational efficiency, cost saving, competitive advantage, and revenue growth. This also allows you to prioritize technology investments, select the most suitable ones, and develop a technology roadmap aligned with your business goals. The first thing you see is that a lot of devices are now connected to the internet, like smart shelves, but also not connected devices like RFID tags and beacons, which are used to track inventory levels. It can monitor product location and provide personalized offers or recommendation to customer based on their location within the store. These devices enable real-time inventory management, reduces stockouts, and enhance the in-store shopping experience. Another one is augmented reality and virtual reality. AR and VR technologies are already being utilized in retail to create immersive shopping experiences. Retailers like you can provide virtual try-on options for clothing or makeup, allow customers to visualize furniture or home decor in their space using AR, or offer virtual store tours. These technologies enhance engagement, but also reduce purchase uncertainty and bridge the gap between online and offline shopping, which I think is a really important one. Artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies are employed in various ways in retail as well. Chatbots and virtual assistants powered by AI provide personalized customer support and recommendations. AI algorithms analyze customer data to offer targeted marketing campaigns. Machine learning algorithms are used for demand forecasting, price optimization, inventory management. These technologies help retailers make data-driven decisions and improve your operational efficiency. The last one is labor shortages. You need to get an understanding of your current HR challenges. And by leveraging HR analytics, you can gain valuable insight into your workforce, identify HR challenges, and develop targeted strategies to address them effectively. This data-driven approach helps optimize HR processes, improve employee satisfaction, and enhance overall organizational performance. For example, with workforce analytics, by analyzing HR data such as employee demographics, performance metrics, turnover rates, and training records, you can gain insights into your workforce and in their trends and challenges. Workforce analytics can help identify areas with high turnover, skill gaps, or low employee engagement. This understanding allows HR professionals to address specific challenges and develop targeted strategies to improve workforce management. Also, recruitment and selections is an area where analytics can help. Analytics can aid in analyzing recruitment data to assess the effectiveness of hiring processes, identify bottlenecks, and evaluate the quality of candidates. By tracking metrics like time to fly, cost per hire, and candidate sources, you can identify areas for improvement in your recruitment strategies. This understanding helps optimize recruitment efforts, streamline processes, and attract top talent for your company. And finally, employee engagement and satisfaction. Again, analytics can be used to measure and analyze employee engagement and satisfaction through surveys, feedback systems, and sentiment analysis. By collecting and analyzing this data, businesses can identify factors influencing employee engagement and satisfaction levels. This understanding helps your HR professional to develop targeted initiatives to improve workplace culture, enhance employee well-being, and boost overall satisfactions. So I think it's clear that there are a lot of analytical processes that can help you get a better understanding of what the competition does, how the consumer preferences evolve, how you can manage and mitigate your supply chain disruptions, which technologies you need to adopt, and also help your HR to get a better understanding and get the right people in to make your business great. So I think this can help overcome the challenges that you as a modern retailer have. Now let's look at a real-world implementation. I would like to turn you over to the capable hands of Tony Kelly. Tony is a senior partner sales engineer for Fivetran, and he is going to share a real-world use case with you and show you a demo on how quickly you can connect to different sources to bring that most valuable data together. Tony, here's to you.
Hi, thank you, Lex, for that great introduction. This says let's talk a little bit now about the Fivetran application. Before we jump into the application itself, let's take a look at some retail use cases where we've got experience in adopting and deploying Fivetran. Firstly, it's in relation to personalization use cases where we can create personalized digital experiences, customer 360 view, product recommendations, and also dynamic pricing. When it comes to audience segmentation use cases, we can, marketing speed optimization, omni-channel marketing, micro-segmentation, and intelligence ads and trailers. Customer engagement is another great use case where we can, manage customer loyalty programs, product quality, customer-generated content, and custom offers. And then lastly, operations use cases like loss prevention, fraud detection, inventory optimization, and so on. This is a great use case, a good example of Fivetran client. So Douglas is a leading premium beauty operator in Europe with over 130,000 beauty and lifestyle products in online shops, but also in over 2,000 stores. Before Fivetran, they had disparate systems, making it difficult to analyze data. The data team had an over-reliance on spreadsheets, and manual collection of data was not scalable. With over 200 different data sources, Douglas couldn't access insights they needed to produce successful digital advertising campaigns. There was no insight into product pricing trends. With the Fivetran solution, Douglas selected Fivetran for data ingestion, Snowflake for the data warehouse, and Tableau for their analytics platform. They're using Fivetran to pull data from over 200 different sources and centralize it into a Snowflake data warehouse. This has given the business market intelligence across everything from assessing the most successful digital advertising campaigns to insights into product and pricing trends. Some positive outcomes after the project: the decreased workload and manual report creation saved the time of one full-time developer. 30% of engineering time previously spent on building and maintaining pipelines has been freed up, and Douglas can now measure the success of digital campaigns and improved market intelligence. Let's take a look at how Fivetran works. It's throughout the extract, load, and transform process where you see the uniqueness of our offering. It starts with the data sources themselves. We've got hundreds of pre-built, fully managed connectors that support every major department and team. After you authenticate into your sources, often with a single click, we start extracting data. For all connectors, this begins with an initial historical load of all the data that exists in the source. This historical sync is free for any data sources, so you can get all the data you need right out of the box. And all other connectors, with the exception of a few file connectors, use change data capture, which provides low impact, high volume data replication. As your team grows and changes tools, you can add new connectors in just minutes with our out-of-the-box deployability. None of this will require engineering resources, as they're all set up code-free. It's not just automation working behind the scenes. We've got a large team of engineers building and maintaining all these pipelines. Because APIs are constantly evolving, our connectors are proactively being updated on the back end by our engineering team. And that automation continues through our load process. After the initial load, we scan for incremental updates using system columns for applications or transaction logs for database sources. As a result, you have the freshest data always available, but without having to do any manual intervention or without reloading all that data every time, which can be costly. Behind the scenes, as the data is moving, we're normalizing the data into schemas in your destination. We'll handle the schema creation process, including data type mapping and underlying table creation. We'll also manage any schema drift that might occur, such as new tables or columns being created in the source. And while that data is moving in the extract and load phase, there is also a lot of automation around our governance and security. We're encrypting that data as the data moves. We're deleting that data as soon as it lands. We're doing things like automatic column blocking and hashing. With our metadata API that's tagging along the entire time, you can get the governance connection to catalogs. And all of this is done with the most compliance, governance, and security certifications of any ELT cloud solution. We bring the same level of automation to transformations. Once your data is in your data warehouse, we accelerate your time to insight by taking raw data and modeling it into analytics-ready tables with our free Fivetran transformations for dbt Core. Built on SQL and now supporting Python with engineering best practices built in, dbt Core has become a leader in the data transformation space. With our integration, you can utilize our pre-built data models that complement our most popular connectors and quickly turn raw data into insights. Or you can integrate your own custom dbt data models into the Fivetran dashboard. You can orchestrate models automatically upon data load in your destination with our integrated scheduling. You can then visualize your end-to-end data pipelines with our data lineage graphs. And if something goes wrong at any point in time, you receive automated alerts to your email and notifications in the platform. Let's take a look at an example like Salesforce. Your revenue teams rely on you to uncover data-driven actions to accelerate business growth. To achieve this, you use our Salesforce connector to easily extract data across opportunities, leads, and accounts from Salesforce and load it into your data warehouse. We will load and normalize this data automatically in the destination, making it available for analysis. But before it's analytics ready, you can use our pre-built data models to transform disparate opportunities into ARR or NRR tables. And these are the insights your finance team are looking for. You can also pull in and model your custom formula fields from Salesforce using our formula fields data model and optimizing it with custom dbt logic. This then provides the analytics ready tables that your analysts build their BI dashboards on. Now with over 300 connectors, if there isn't a connector we support natively, we have generic connectors that allow us to get data from many locations. As long as there's some way to get that data out, whether that's by an email or a download, well then 99% of the time, we can get it for you in an automated fashion. So let's now move on to a system demonstration. Today, you're going to see an example of ingesting data from a retail ERP system, which is hosted in Postgres database. You'll also see an example of ingesting inventory data from a CSV file located in a Google Cloud Storage bucket. And then lastly, you'll see us ingesting CRM data from Salesforce. So this is my Fivetran dashboard. I'm simply going to click on Add Connector. From here, I choose my Snowflake demo destination. And then I'm going to search for this Postgres instance so we can add a Postgres connector. Clicking Setup launches the form. This is a standard form that Fivetran needs to get completed to successfully connect. You got to fill in each field here. We start with giving the schema a name in the destination, followed by the host IP address of the Postgres server. And then we include the port number. We include the username and password to log into and connect to the Postgres server. Next, we provide the name of the database in the Postgres server. We've got a number of options for connecting. You can choose to connect directly, or you can connect via an SSH tunnel or via private link. For today's one, we'll use the detect changes via Xmin, and we'll use a connect direct as well. So click on Save and Test. We kick off a series of tests where Fivetran is going to validate that everything I provided in the setup form is correct. Once Fivetran has completed the setup tests, we will then click on Next, and Fivetran will save those settings and it'll connect to the Postgres instance and it'll retrieve the database schema for me. So at this point now, it's going to fetch and retrieve the schema. I'll be presented with a list of schemas and tables and columns that I can pick and choose to sync. So for this demo, I'm going to pick all three tables. That's the three we spoke about: the customers, loyalty segments, and sales orders. Next, we're asked how would you like to handle schema changes. By default, it allows all schema changes. And that's it. We click on Start Initial Sync. This kicks off the initial historical sync of all the data in the Postgres database. We've got a menu across the top. We can change the view of the data graphs to hourly. If we click on the logs, we get the API calls that we make to the Postgres instance. These logs are kept for 7 days, after which they get truncated, but we do have a free log connector that you can use to download and save those logs permanently. Here in the setup, we can set the schedule sync frequency to be once every 5 minutes or up as high as once every 24 hours. Let's take a look back and see the status. It's still conducting the initial historical sync. Okay, at this point it's finished the historical sync, and the next sync is scheduled to run in 2 minutes time. We can click on the view again, you'll see those graphs, and if you hover over the graph, you get the statistics about the data that was synced. So next up, we're going to try the CSV file again. We click Add Connector. We'll use Snowflake as the destination. And this time my source is going to be that Google Cloud Storage bucket. So we pick the storage bucket from the list. Start again with a destination schema. This one we'll call it Tony K Inventory. The destination table, I'll just call inventory. The storage bucket name, this is the name of your Google storage bucket, and the folder path. The full details of how you set this connector up are on the right hand side. Step-by-step instructions on how to get it created. Again, it's gone through a series of tests to validate the connection to the storage bucket. We click on continue. We have the option to choose specific columns, but I'm going to leave it at sync all data for today's demo. And there it's finished. Click on start initial sync again, and it kicks off that initial sync of all the data that exists in that CSV file. In the setup tab again, we've got the option of setting the sync frequency down to 5 minutes, as low as once every 5 minutes. Let's take a look and see if that's completed yet. So there we can see that the sync has finished. Again, you can point and hover over the graph, you'll see the statistics for it. And finally then we're going to add the third connector, which is going to be the Salesforce connector, which is a good example of that SaaS-based application connector. So again, we give it a schema name, and then we only need to click authorize. If I look at another tab, you can see I've already logged into Salesforce, and I provided my login name and password there. So because I've already logged in, Fivetran just needs to click authorize to authenticate into that Salesforce application. Once we authorize and save and test, it's then going to connect to the Salesforce API and validate that everything is good. The next step will be continue, and then it will retrieve the database schema from the Salesforce application. This will present me with a list of over 900 tables. We won't sync all of those today. Just for the demo, we'll sync the account table. To demonstrate how we can block and hash columns, we'll start by blocking all the columns on the account table. And we'll just handpick a selection of columns for the demonstration. So we'll go with the account number, account source, annual revenue, billing city. We'll also pick, for demonstration purposes, one date field. We'll use this last activity date, and we're going to pretend that the date field is actually a date of birth. So if this was a date of birth, we do have the option of hashing that column so that we don't land it unhashed in the destination. Once you're finished selecting your schema, you click on Save and Continue. Again, you're asked how you would like to handle those schema changes. We leave it as Allow All for today. Click on Continue. And then lastly, we just need to click on that Start Initial Sync to kick off the initial historical sync of the data. In the setup here again, you can see we have the ability to reduce it down to once every 5 minutes, or up to as high as once every 24 hours. So it's working on there already. Once that historical sync has completed, you can see the next sync is scheduled to run in a day. Again, you can hover over that graph and you can see the data volumes that have been transferred. So let's take a little quick look at the Snowflake destination to see if those tables were successfully replicated. Here we can see the retail ERP system, and we do have the customer data and the loyalty segments data, and also that sales orders data. Next, we'll have a look for the CSV file that was imported into the inventory table. So if we just search for that, we can see the inventory table has also successfully been synced, and we can preview the data in the inventory table as well. And then finally, we'll search again and see if our Salesforce account table has been synced. There we can see that this has also been successfully synced. So we can see the account table exists in there. And again, we can preview the account table in there. So that concludes the Fivetran portion of this webinar. Thank you very much for your time. I'm going to hand you back over now to Koen from Biztory.
Thanks, Tony, for the introduction. So, my name is Koen van het Schip, and I work, just like Lex mentioned, for Biztory Netherlands. My role is to advise our customers from a business and commercial perspective in how to get answers from data easier and faster. So, to summarize the great content and demo that Lex and Tony have shared today, we can say that we have touched upon 3 pillars: the people side of an organization, the organization processes, and the technology side. And where we have the Biztory way of working, we translate this into the 3 T's: trust, train, and technology. So let's begin with trust. So we help organizations understand their data and how to get answers from data to generate trust. As Lex mentioned, trust to their customers, based on loyalty, preferences, or needs. But also trust towards their own employees, or possible new hires. And to create trust, to differentiate towards the competition. Very important. But what also is a big trust component with data is to monetize your data. Bring your data back to the market or your customers. We did lots of projects on this one, as it is one of our core skills. So we support retail customers with their data monetization strategy to bring the data back to their suppliers based on consumer behavior. This is one of the great examples that we did for Ocado, a large online retailer in the UK. You can find the use case on our website. Then let's talk about train. Train the employees to understand the company data focused on business processes, like, as Lex mentioned, supply chain or demand forecasting. But also the market and industry trends plus competitors. We can train them on how to use data in the flow of their work. Train them in what's about, train them in that it's about the answers you get from the data and what you can do with the concrete answers. Then let's talk about the technology. The technology should be a supportive tool to reach your company goals. It must be supportive and can provide self-service. The demo from Tony is a great example of how it can support you in a modern way of working, instead of building and maintaining it all every day yourself. Lex mentioned AI and machine learning, but also the seamless experience within an e-commerce platform, for example. These are all common practices that we have within the platform that we can deliver. So let's talk a little bit more about the platform and the modern data stack. As mentioned, we understand your data. It doesn't matter in which database, application, or server your data is. Our approach can fit into your needs. But yes, we do have a preferred stack, and that's with a reason. As Tony shared and demonstrated Fivetran, it's a very strong but easy to use tool to support your first step to get the data out of your on-premises or cloud applications. Using dbt for the transformation in combination with Fivetran and Snowflake will make your data engineer smile. An organized and documented data warehouse. As what we do from the beginning of Biztory, and we are still one of the leading partners in Europe, we provide insights with Tableau. And let Tableau be the supporting tool to explore your data and to get answers from data easier and faster. As Tableau was acquired a few years ago by Salesforce, and with the recent development that Biztory has set up a closer relation with Salesforce due to the recent investment from Salesforce Ventures, Biztory has adopted in a short period of time the newest developments around Data Cloud into the modern data stack. So we can provide Salesforce customers, together with our current stack, a great user and data experience. It doesn't matter if your data is inside or outside the Salesforce ecosystem. So to close this webinar, I would like to share with you that you have been listening to the story of Biztory as a company that is part of a larger Salesforce and IT ecosystem with lots of knowledge around retail, marketplaces, and more to help you solve your challenges. We always say, bring us a data problem and we will help you. Thanks for listening, and please feel free to reach out to me directly or with one of my colleagues in the sheet. Thank you.